There's a lot of challenges in the legal career. I guess like initially after I got sworn in as an attorney, I learned like how hard it is to get a really good legal job. But what is important is shaping your career path, like stepping stones, and you constantly are improving, going from one job or area of law to another, and you keep improving and moving up the ladder, because what's important is your experience, your connections, your network, and that kind of later transitions into career and financial success.
Welcome to another dose of Empire, where we share stories to elevate and inspire. My name is Mimi, and I'll be your host for today. I am honored to introduce our next guest. She is an entrepreneur, owner of her own law firm, and a lawyer you want on your side. Please help me welcome Kelly.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. We go way back since college, and to really watch your journey blossom and now being a amazing female, and well, you were those things back then too, to be quite honest. But to see you impacting more lives. Share as a lawyer, share a little bit of your background as a lawyer and that transition from being an athlete, which you still are, and now being amazing, empowering firecracker into the law field industry.
I like to think that I bring my passion of sports and athletics. It's just a general passion for everything in life. So that same passion I use as an athlete, I bring to the courtroom and for my clients. Most things in life, I give it my all and like to be my best and always learning and improving. And I think those are skills for all entrepreneurs, all attorneys, and all athletes. So it's cross fields.
I love that. So you ran track and you also now are a lawyer, maybe an athlete now, thinking about becoming a lawyer. What would you say some of the similarities are?
Well, you got to think on your feet and be spontaneous, but also plan in advance. Like for instance, I'm training for a marathon and you make a plan months and months in advance. And you also work on your conditioning, you plan out all your runs, you test yourself for seeing how you're doing in that plan, and you prepare for race day. And similarly, as an attorney, specifically litigation, which is what I do, you got to plan your case from the very beginning. You mold it, you condition your case and your client to become its best. You set out a discovery plan or a pre-trial plan, and you prepare all the time with that one goal in mind, whether it's trial or mediation or settlement. And bumps may happen along the line, like you may get injured as an athlete, and similarly in the law, a bunch of crazy things can happen. But if you have a good plan in place and you're spontaneous and you're quick on your feet, you can rebound and work on whatever the issue is to get back on track or modify your plan.
I love that answer. Oh my God. I love that. So how did you know becoming a lawyer is something you wanted to do?
Well, I was actually influenced mostly from myself, I guess, in that whatever I wanted to do, I remember even as a child, like I wanted to have the ability to help people based off of simply what was inside my head. Okay. And so for whatever reason, I thought the two best paths to do that were either to be a doctor or a lawyer, because you could just come up to a stranger in the street and help them in many ways. And
in an airplane,
especially the doctors. I've never heard anyone say we need a lawyer on the plane.
That is so true. That is very true.
But like I happen to help people like probably every week, some random people. I take a lot of free consultations, and most of those people, probably 99% or 95%, it's not a case I'm going to keep, but I always try to like refer it out to the appropriate attorney or connect them to the right people, or give some of my feedback or thoughts, or direct them to different resources to try to help them. So I like to be able to give back. And also I learned later on, because I was both pre-med and pre-law for most of my undergrad career, that if you're an attorney, you have more of an ability to be an entrepreneur, I felt, than being a doctor. Being a doctor, you're very much tied into a hospital setting. You're constricted by insurance and other legal parameters. And even like you could help someone at times, depending on the circumstances, and even be sued by someone you're trying to help. And it seemed like I would be more constrained if I became a doctor in many aspects versus an attorney. Like I can work for myself, work with others, have my own business,
Right.
branch out into other legal or business careers out of it. So that's why I chose law.
I I love the fact that you were, I guess you did go pre-med, right? And now you decided to be a lawyer, but there are so many similarities. I
Mhm.
would say, I believe lawyers save a lot of lives. I mean, when we go to some cases, those are sometimes people's more worst points in their lives, and to have a lawyer that can support them, give them the support they need, I think it makes such a difference. Yes, it's not an injury, um maybe a physical one, but it's an emotional one, and sometimes we need the right person to be right there. So I do believe you are saving lives, believe it or not. So that's yes, that's an admirable one. What were some of the challenges, would you say, that you did not expect? I know I wanted to be a lawyer at one point, and I decided not to, just because I know I faced some of the challenges of being in the courtroom. I think that was one of my fears. What
Mhm.
was one challenge that you did not expect, but maybe drives you even more today?
I mean, there's a lot of challenges in the legal career. I guess, like initially, after I got sworn in as an attorney, I learned like how hard it is to get a really good legal job. And it was crazy to see job offers to people across the class, whether they're top of the class or bottom of the class. Like people like would just try to pay attorneys pennies after you went to school for 7 to 8 years, if you include studying for the bar. And I know that happens to doctors too. Like starting salaries are not what you think of when you think of lawyers and doctors. And I think what is important, and of course, unless you went to a big school like NYU or something like that, but even I know NYU students, and they weren't getting the job offers that they believed they were going to get
Sure.
going into
Right.
school. But what is important is shaping your path, your career path, like stepping stones, and you constantly are improving, going from one job or area of law to another, and you keep improving and moving up the ladder, because what's important is your experience, your connections, your network, and that kind of later transitions into career and financial success, I believe.
Oh.
Discrimination and employment law attorney primarily. So I see a lot. I've sued law firms before on behalf of other attorneys or people on their staff. And the legal field is not like clean when it comes to discrimination.